Hello to some of our favorite people in the whole world who will see this. Thank you for being here at another episode of Flex Your Influence Spotlight with someone who I adore, Lisa Crilley Mallis. Thank you for being here, my friend.
Oh, I am super excited to be here with you today.
So, as we know, was a this is a labor of love, just doing some one-on-one interviews with people who I admire and that I want to know what your life as a business owner is like. And it's today I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I need to be on Facebook Live. I need to do this. I need to do that. And I thought, you know what? You need to just show up, be yourself, and be. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. I mean, there's so much going on. Lisa and I were just having some just some pre chatter, and both of us, if you've never heard me speak about NABO, are NABO members. And we do a lot for this in this organization. And right now is the season of our annual conference. Our annual conference is happening in Austin on October 15th through 17th. And it's actually not too late to join us. But we were just both talking about how much is happening. And so it's really nice to we're just going to cut back a little bit and just talk about business ownership for. I want to hear from you, my friend Lisa. And so before I get started, though, I would love for you to tell us a little bit about your business and what you're excited about right now.
Wow. Well, I'm excited about the conference. It's like I'd like to share a little about your business, what was your dream? Like all the stuff. So first, I'm just super excited that you're outside right now and jealous. You're on the East Coast.
Where are you? Tell our friends where you're
Yeah.
at.
So I'm in Ohio, and if I were outside right now, I would be freezing because it is super cold. Like not super cold, but it's damp
It's
and
getting
rainy
there.
and mucky. Like
Yeah.
today is not an awesome outside day, so I'm jealous because I'm in my office and I've been inside all day.
Oh, yeah.
So let's start this little chat with whining and all the rumblings. So whatever. So I am jealous about your outsideness,
And my
but
coffee was cold today. And
right, yeah, this all the stuff. We're having all what is it? This morning I was with a client and she's like, we're having all the emotions today. And I was like, yes, I think we are. So what am I excited about? What about my business? I'm excited about the WBC for NABO. I am really excited. I people who know me know that a lot of people overwhelms me. That is like it's a lot, and yet when I get there I'm excited to see everyone and I'm excited to do all the stuff, and then I come home and I hibernate for days and like I've had all the people I can have, but I really am excited to get to Austin and just get recharged and get new ideas and make new connections. And I feel like you can only go so far by yourself. And
oh,
then, right, like you're like, oh, I've got this idea, but I can only get to a place before I need some help to get it to the
yeah.
next level. And I feel like I'm that place right now on a couple different fronts. So I'm excited to get some guidance.
And this is real talk, right? This is real talk from a business owner saying, like, I'm pivoting or I'm adding something or I'm evolving. And that's small business for us. I'm in the same boat, Lisa. I'm not going to get into it, but I'm in the same boat. And sometimes the support is not even like strategic support. Sometimes it's just, Lisa, need I remind you how many amazing things you've already done and you're giving, to the people that you serve. I know quite a few people that are your clients, and I didn't know they were your clients until they were, we were talking or we were texting, and they're like, well, Lisa Crilley Mallis is helping me with like my blog scheduling and like figuring out what's the priority and what I need to delegate. And I'm like, good. Thank goodness you're on that path. But I get it and I love that. So you're excited. You have a lot going on. We're both excited about the WBC. This conference is, we're not going to dwell on this conference, but it's worth you knowing. If you are a woman business owner, this is like the one place you should be every year is at the
Right.
WBC. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep. And not even just to think about like, oh, the clients you can get, because as small business owners, every time you ask them, like, what could you, what could I give you if I could just make your wish come true? They're like, more clients. It's like, okay, yes. Well, the thing about the WBC is that you're meeting women business owners. So yes, they are potential clients and that stuff comes, but more so it's the conversation, it's the camaraderie, it's the support, and it's the community.
Right. Well, and I don't know if you remember this, but that's the place I first met you.
It is.
San
What's
Antonio.
San
San
Antonio?
Antonio. It was my first conference, and I haven't missed since. So that's
Oh my
what,
God.
8
8
conferences
years.
now?
I just posted this because my cousin who lives in San Antonio
Was there with you?
was
Yes.
there. You met her,
Yes.
Cindy.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So it's either 7 or 8 years. It's a long time ago.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
It
because
was
we
8
met
years
in
ago.
the lobby of the Overflow Hotel
Of the,
because I thought I was in the main hotel and couldn't figure out where the conference was
yeah,
because we were
the
in the Overflow
overflow. No one
Hotel.
wants to yeah. No one wants to be at the overflow hotel. However, in San Antonio, it was a nice
It was.
respite. It was a
Yes.
nice respite. So you
Mhm.
never know.
Right.
Well, okay, so thank you. Like, this is my introduction to Lisa. And in the show notes, I have a couple links of some resources that she's given, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about what she does. I've already like alluded to the fact that she does everything with time management and delegating and just prioritizing. And that is important parts of being a business owner, because we don't have a manager or a CEO telling we are they. And so no one tells us how to spend our time. So we have to have the most, to me, we have to be the most um what's that word I'm thinking of? That's a chore to me.
Well, I feel like you have to be responsible for setting your own
Right.
priorities, and you have to be responsible for setting your own parameters and your own guidelines and your own
Right.
deadlines and all the things. So
Right.
it's a
There's a
lot.
word I'm thinking, discipline.
Yes, yes,
The discipline. But not only that is to know where the time should go, and what needs to be delegated. So anyway, I want to just learn a little bit more of you. And so the first thing I'm going to ask you is, what do you love most about being a business owner?
yeah. I've always said I started my business for freedom and flexibility, which I think a lot of people say they started their business for freedom and flexibility.
Yeah.
But I feel like I lied for the first couple of years of my business because though I said that's why I started it, and I don't know that I really had it. I think I like
Interesting.
fooled my right. Like I feel like you fool yourself into feeling like you have it because you can take off time whenever you want, but do you really?
But
And you know what I
should
mean? Like,
you?
or
You
should
can,
you?
but
Or
should you?
right, yeah. And so I think it's not until recently that I hit a place where I was like, I can take a 3 or 4 day weekend
Yeah.
and not work 14 hours to catch up. Or I
Yeah.
can take a long lunch and not feel like I'm behind or it not affect my income.
Yeah.
And it took a while to get to that place. And so, like, when I think about, why did I start my business? Well, originally, I started it because I was tired of doing what I was in high school education. And I knew that wasn't what I wanted to do for the rest of my
Oh,
life. I was a high school math teacher. And I knew that wasn't what
what?
I
I did
wanted.
not know that.
Yeah, I was a high school math teacher and I was a high school administrator. And I knew that wasn't what I wanted and I wasn't sure what I wanted. but enough people kept asking me to help them do similar enough things that I recognized I had a skill set that I could monetize, because it turns out if it's easy for you, it is not easy for everyone else, which
Right.
it took me a while to figure out.
That's
And
right.
so then, then there was that winding path of figuring out exactly, what do I call myself? What am I doing? Like, that took a while. But yeah, so that's how I started my business. And, and
Wow, that
then,
is amazing.
yeah. So then at that
But
point,
to me, that tells me you were an entrepreneur from the beginning, though. I believe that entrepreneurship, most of it, like 85, 90%, is our innate.
yeah, I just
It's
had
just,
no idea what I was doing,
yeah,
you know? Like, whatever. And then once I got into it, I was like, oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Like, I have all this freedom. I can do whatever I want.
yeah,
I just didn't, because it was always one more,
something to do.
one more client, one more project, one more thing.
Yep.
And now, I'm at the place where, okay, wait a minute. I can start taking some time and start enjoying the benefits that come with owning your own business.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Okay, so tell me this then. A nice little segue is then what were you most surprised by when you started your business, and how long ago did you start your business?
So I'm almost at 10 years, like coming right up into 10 years. And I really thought, like, if I built a website by myself on GoDaddy with no skills, like using one of their templates 10 years ago, imagine what that looked like, that was all I
I'm
needed.
imagining it.
Like, I was positive, Margaret, that's all I needed.
Hey,
Like,
but
I
hey,
thought, if I
you have to start somewhere.
right? But I was like, oh yeah, I'll put that up there and the
Yeah.
clients will just start pouring in, because
Mhm.
I'm really good at what I do. And
Yeah.
that's all
And
I'll
I'm
need.
great to work with, and I'm this and I'm that.
Right? Like, why would I ever need to invest in
Yeah,
any type of marketing? Like,
right.
dude, I've got this website. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter that the stuff's all like cockeyed
I
and stuff.
I built it and they're just coming.
It's like Field of Dreams website version. Like, I was positive. Yeah, that did not happen.
Yeah. So you were just shocked that there was going to be more work
Yeah, like I
involved
had
to get your name out
no yeah, I literally no idea. And then I met through another organization. I met someone in Navo who said, "Will you come teach a half day workshop on time management for us?" And I was like, "Sure." Very intimidated, but I was like, "Sure, fake it till you make it. I'll come do that." Got in
right?
the room and I was like, "Oh man, these people, like, they've got their stuff together and they know how to run a business. Like, I don't understand how to run a business." And so I'm like, "I need to be more like them. I should
Yeah.
join this organization." And so that's how I joined Navo, because I spoke at an event and recognized they had something I wanted.
I love that. I do love that. So if you are if you're thinking about starting a business, you have a lot of resources available to you right now that 10 years ago. And Lisa, in December, I'm coming up on my 15 year.
I know.
I
I
can't, I just, I'm flabbergasted.
I
So I have a lot of things like circling around my head about 15 years, what I thought 15 years would look like, what 15 years does look like, but the magic of 15 years, the magic of 10 years, just being able to, you know, that's your business, that's your career. So, the purpose of asking these questions is that, if you're listening to this and you are inspired to want to start your business, or remind yourself why you started. I sometimes I need to do that. So at least I don't know if you know this, but every Thursday I help run Empower Hour for Nabo. And
mhm.
today's question is, have you ever experienced burnout? How do you get yourself out of burnout, and what does burnout look like? And that's not a conversation you and I are going to have right now, but I know it's probably something that you could speak to. I think that has everything to do with scheduling and time management and prioritizing. And so if you want, I would love to have your thoughts, but I don't want to put you too much on the spot.
No, 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 you're not putting me on the spot at
Okay,
all.
good.
And it's funny that you asked that because typically that's one of the number one drivers for people to give me a call,
Wow.
because they've hit that spot
Yeah.
of I um, I no longer get the joy in running or owning my business anymore, which is it's a burnout. It's a piece of burnout. It's
Hmm.
I started my business. It's my labor of love, like all those phrases and those words and those feelings,
Yeah.
and they no longer feel it anymore.
Yeah.
And so especially if they're in that creative, any of the creative fields, their
Yeah.
work product is suffering. And because they're feeling blocked and like I think of you and I love it when you're posting it, when you're taking your time away from the traditional office type stuff to
Yes.
go
Yeah,
out.
my workplace.
Yes,
PLAY. Yes.
yeah, to go out and
I have
recharge.
to.
Yes, absolutely. And so it's that burnout piece. And everyone will feel it differently. For me, like I'll start to feel it a little bit in my shoulders, but it's my gut. Like I'll start to get that churning in my stomach. And that's my first
Yeah.
feel for me that I'm starting to get burnt out. The
Yeah.
other one is I know that I can't, like I start to struggle to put like two coherent sentences together.
Together. Yeah.
Like
I get
that.
really tired. I'll just be tired.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
tired. And
Yep.
it's
Short
why am I
fuse,
tired?
right?
Mhm.
Short fuse. Like, we were just sharing like before we went live, like
Yep.
last night, I'm like, turn off right now.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
close the
yeah.
laptop.
Respond tomorrow.
Yep. Walk out of the
Respond tomorrow.
office. Like, walk out right now.
Yeah.
And it's when those start to happen a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and so, but that's a big piece because I think we're a lot of, one of my clients this morning said to me, I feel like all I do all day is chase getting one more thing done. And I've lost sight of what's the big important stuff.
I love that.
And I feel like I'm moving forward the little stuff and I've lost sight of what are even our big objectives anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's rough. So that's a great question for you guys to talk about today at
Yeah.
the Empower Hour, because we all experience a little differently, but I feel like most business owners experience it.
Yep. I'm really excited to see the response to that question. Um, I don't, with Empower Hour, I choose the questions and I don't like any fluff. I go
Right.
straight to the heart because as a business owner, I know the things that I struggle with personally, and I know that I'm not alone. And that's the wonderful thing about community is that, because I think offline, I have a couple things I want to talk to you about just from friend to friend. And, these are the things that happen. But would I remind myself, like, there was a day where I was just feeling extremely burnt out and not connected with my purpose. And so the first thing I did, rather than just get in and start trying to bang out a task, I said, remind yourself why you do what you do, what it does for my life, freedom and flexibility. As you know, I'm an auntie. I used to be a sister and a daughter. I am still those things, but they don't hold as much clout as being an auntie does.
Right.
And so I get to be at all the things. And none of my littles live anywhere near me, but I have a lifestyle where I can go and do that. That's my why.
Mm-hmm.
That's my why. And it's and but I'm also starting to look at the way that I work and the things that I do versus what needs to be delegate, and all these wonderful things. But
Right.
I don't want to digress too much, but yes, it's important to ask ourselves these hard questions and to then realign with why we do what we do, because burnout is real
Right.
in any
Absolutely.
career, even for profession, because you don't just help business owners. And I will let you know that, especially through LinkedIn, people will see this who are not business owners. So this is definitely for you as well, because sometimes even in our own roles in corporate America, we're like a business owner over that role.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So we take a lot of pride, and we hold tight to that, and we have a lot of responsibility. So, Lisa, I definitely want to ask you on this same subject then, how do you stay inspired?
So, and I love how you were sharing, getting back to your center and getting back to your why. And so, one part of that that resonates with me is, I'll tell a story when I speak about when I recognized that I was definitely doing things kind of, I don't want to say the wrong way, but not in integrity. So, I tell a story
Mm,
about how my husband's a school teacher, and in the summers, our time that we could spend together, and he would be on the deck, and he would holler in right through our open window and say, "Are you going to come out for breakfast?" And I would be like, "Oh, let me finish this one thing," and we know that means 5 hours later, and over that would happen, and fast forward through the whole summer,
yeah.
and did not one time go out there, and that's the early stages of my business, and I
Yeah.
realized, wow, here I am teaching business owners how to manage their time, and here I am not prioritizing,
Your
what's
time.
important.
Yeah.
Right. And now we fast forward, and he just retired. He had a triple
Oh,
bypass,
wow.
right?
Oh,
So we had
geez.
a triple bypass a year ago. And so you look at, the progression of 10 years, and you look at, where are we now?
Yeah.
And, five grandkids, um, and a very different lifestyle than what we had. And
Yeah.
you look at, okay, now what are the priorities? What's important?
Right. Right.
And now it's the long weekends, and
Mm-hmm.
it's the long lunches. And, someone said to me recently when I spoke, they're like, do you do breakfast? And I'm like, no, we have not had breakfast one time. And they're like, what? And I said, he didn't get up for breakfast. I
Yeah.
said, there is no breakfast. He's not up for breakfast. I'm like, but we do lunch,
Yeah.
we do long weekends. And so I think part of that is hitting back to my why of
Yeah.
there's more to life than work. So I think part of that's what helps to inspire me. But the other thing is, and I know this will shock people who are listening, it's NABO. It's tapping back into people who,
Shocker.
right? I know. They're like, really? Is this just not a commercial for this
I
organization?
know. I know.
Margaret, it really is. It's listening to people who
Mhm.
are where I would like to be,
Yep.
or listening to people who are
You
where
can
I
help.
was, who I can
Yeah.
help.
Yep.
It's that combination of all of those things.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, so I
No.
think it's all of that. It's like you said, it's being able to go and do those things. Being able to I have two nephews in college right now and one who's out. And it was going to Toronto with my nephew who's out of college during the week to go to a baseball game.
Yeah.
And it's taken the day to go watch my other nephew play college soccer in the middle of a day,
In the middle of the day. Because you
and going,
plan it. You plan it.
you can plan it and do those things.
Yeah. It is. It is. It is. That's wonderful. That
Yeah.
truly is wonderful. So you stay inspired by just aligning with what's important, being sure you make time for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I truly love that. And I think for me, about being inspired is to work on projects and work with people that inspire me.
Hmm.
I just started working with someone who is extremely inspiring. And I told myself, I said, this is the type of person I just want to work with. this is this is it. Because they get it, you know.
Right.
It's like, because when your heart's in it, then you're going to put the work in.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you and I do for a living is not going to be easy for someone to implement. There's work to be
Right.
done.
Right.
And they have to be willing. And if they're not willing to do it, and they say, well, I brought you on and this didn't happen, and then you can say, well, these were the things that needed to happen and they haven't, that's why it's not working yet.
Right. Right.
So I just love that so much. But before we sign off, I would love for you, give us a tip. Give us a Lisa Crilley Mallis tip.
Okay. But before I
Okay.
give you my tip,
Okay.
I
I'm
want
scared.
a tip from you. Okay. So
Okay. Oh boy.
I love the fact that you can, in my brain, literally work from anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you can literally work from anywhere. So one, I want to know, where is the most unique place you've ever worked from? That's my first one. But then I'll ask for your tip.
Oh boy. Um, so to answer that question, or to comment on your comment, I can. And if you knew my day today, you'd be like, how did you even do this? And I'm not going to get into that now. That'll be behind the scenes info for you. Um, I wish the most unique place I've ever, I mean, I've worked from the beach. I've done a conference call on sitting on the ground because there was nowhere to sit in Huntington Beach, California, while I was on vacation with my family, because it was like a 3-week vacation. I don't take 3-week vacations,
Right.
ladies and gentlemen. I'm not there yet. So in the middle of this 3-week amazing adventure in California, my hometown, I was sitting on the ground with my hotspot and my laptop, and I gave a presentation to a couple of people, and they were just floored by it. They loved it, everything. And I was in my bathing suit. There was no video because I was staring at my screen. I told them I wouldn't be on video. And I was in a bathing suit, no makeup. I think I had a corn dog next to me. And some of my best work came out from situations like that.
All right, that is awesome. So I think that leads really well into my question.
Okay.
What is your best tip for
Okay.
setting up like some sort of a mobile type work
Okay.
environment?
Um well, you always need to have sunglasses just in case you're out and you're like, you don't have makeup on and you want, and you want to do something outside. Have sunglasses. It's a very easy thing. Definitely have your mobile hotspot set up on your phone for anything remote, because not everywhere is going to have Wi-Fi. But also, this comes back to time management. And Lisa, you and I have done a little work together, and I pride myself on being a very disciplined time management person, only because I had to, because I wanted to be flexible. And so I guess my best tip is to just like kind of pre-plan your environment, but also once you become a pro at it, you'll kind of know where you can give and take. Sometimes I do events or meetings like from a hotel lobby, but obviously it can't be like the main hotel where it's like everyone's like so loud. Be willing to go to the second floor where the conference rooms are. Be
Hmm.
willing to ask questions and to go places that you normally wouldn't. So, I mean, that's one of my tips, but also like have your technology ready to go,
Right.
you know. But a tip that I would give, that I would also just like to equate it to like marketing, is just be ready to be real in everything that you do.
Thank you, because that's where I was going to go with the next part
Oh,
of it.
good. Be real.
It's like we
Be
share a
real.
brain. It's like we share a brain.
Yeah, I love that. Just in everything, you don't have to you don't have to give an explanation why you are in Costa Rica that week we're all professionals. If we're all doing our job and showing up, for me, it doesn't matter where I am. And now when I have conversations with new clients, I might say, you might see me traveling back and forth. Um, but it's not to say that I'm just partying the whole time. My work is my priority
Right.
because my work gives me the lifestyle that I love.
Right. 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 Ah,
So, does that answer your question?
oh, it does. Thank
Oh,
you.
good,
I love it. All
good.
right. So my tip. So my tip goes back to, so I talked about how like at the beginning I like pretended I had flexibility and freedom, but didn't. And then now I
Oh,
feel
yeah,
like I do. And
yeah.
so often people will be like, well, what changed? Like magic. And I think, and so my tip is like really understand what your zone of genius is and then figure out how you can start to delegate out the rest. And
I love
that's
that.
what changed for me because when I really
I love
understood what was I really good at and then
when was I
started,
good at it?
yeah, and when was I good at it? What time of day was I good at
Yeah,
it? But like, but and then s- understood how I could start to delegate out those other pieces.
yeah,
I had more energy and time and freedom to do more of what I was really good at,
yeah.
which then gave me more money to pay
Yep.
for people to do the stuff I wasn't good at. And like it was that snowball
Oh,
effect
that's beautiful.
over and over and over again. Because often people think I can't afford to delegate,
Yeah,
but it's actually the opposite is true.
yeah.
You can't afford not to delegate. And
That's
so,
right.
you know what I mean? But it comes down to understanding that process
Yeah,
of how do you do it in a way that you can do it
yeah,
effectively and efficiently so that you're not
yeah,
continually taking the time back over, you know what I mean?
yep,
Like if it takes you forever to delegate something off, it's not worth it. And so
yeah,
being able to streamline that is your
yeah.
thing. So that's my tip.
I love that. I truly love that, and it makes so much sense. And I just want to give a plug that if understanding the way you use your time, and honestly, if you're feeling like you're just overextended and how do you even have time to do all these things, talk to Lisa. I'm just saying, because if you can't get there alone and you're a professional or you're a business owner, you must. Your productivity, your product, your bottom line depends on it. And so if you're not someone who is disciplined or you're not someone who even knows how to manage your time, you need to have a call with someone. That's the first thing. And I'm sure there's, Lisa has a lot of resources where she can, have a discovery call, or I don't want to speak for her, but there's a lot of ways that I'm sure you work with your clients. And so I really want to, um, you know, even me being someone who I do manage my time. I do focus on blocking and all of these things. There are still things that I want to get to the upper levels of. And that I've talked to you about that before. And so when I'm ready, I am going to do that. And because what I want to do is get to a place, and tell me if anyone else wants to do this, is get to a place where I'm working very little hours in my zone of genius. I have everyone else doing the work, they're happy, they're making money, and my income stays the same
Hmm.
from having a full-time job.
Yep, absolutely. And, as you were talking about all the things you just shared, one of the things I'll share with clients is your time management strategies got you to here. Because
I love that.
the people that I work with, like they pride themselves on being really great
Yeah,
at time management and it
yeah,
got them to here and they're ready to go to the next level. And so they need their strategies to get them to that next place.
And I'm back.
You're back.
My phone decided, or my computer decided to just shut off. So she must have been done for the day.
Yeah. And I was
Uh,
going to talk to myself, and I was like, oh, I'll just wait till you come back.
I figured that you would handle it, but no, I heard your last thought, and that's like people that, it's like you got yourself to this level. What's next?
Yeah. And then,
That's genius.
yeah. And so I think that's the thing when people, because many times people will feel like, oh, I don't, I don't want to, I'm not bad enough for help. And it's not
It's
about
not
being
that.
bad enough. It's
It's
about
getting
the
to the
fact,
upper echelon.
yeah. It's like, because I just reached out today, I had a conversation with someone who said this. It's like I talked to someone me was me to me. She's like, you're here. She goes, you need someone else now to help you get to here because you don't have the skill set anymore to get there.
Mm,
About a different problem that I was
yeah,
having. I was like, oh my God, you're so right. And I think
yeah,
that's the place people think like people will be like, I
yeah,
need to be a hot mess to work with you. And I was like, no, no,
mm,
no, no, not at all.
mm,
Because typically those are not the people I work with.
yeah.
Because the people I work with
Want to
are
respond?
people, yeah, who are really motivated. They really love what they do.
Yeah.
They just want to get to a next level, and what they're doing won't get them there.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Oh,
anyway, so yes, so to your original question is absolutely contact me. I will help you figure out
yeah.
what your next step is.
Yes.
Sometimes it's not me, and I have a huge network of NABO people that I will refer you to.
Same. 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 I love that so much. Well, this has just been amazing, Lisa. I just appreciate you, and Lisa and I have got to work together because she's doing some work with Nabo, and as you know, I also do work with Nabo and managing their social media. And so Lisa's been working with the membership and the powered by chapters. And she's just a wonderful person to, if you need to know more about Nabo, or if you're in Cleveland and you want to get plugged in, we know people. We know people. So
That's right.
Lisa, this has been so wonderful. I'm so excited to see you in Austin
I
very, very
know.
soon.
I
And
know.
thank you so much for just sharing with us today.
Thank you, Margaret. I'm so glad we got to do this before we got to Austin. So I'm so glad. Thank you
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
asking me.
Maybe we'll do something fun in Austin.
Yes. Yes, of course.
All right. I love this so much, Lisa. Thank you so much. And you have an awesome week. Everyone have a great rest of your week and be wildly excited about the possibilities. And I will see you on the next one.